Two policemen sentenced to death for Abu Sayeed murder. Supreme Court Secretariat and two other ordinances revoked. 3-day online classes in some schools of Dhaka. Choose between war and truce, Iran tells US. Those were the headlines. Good evening, I'm Shahzan Hassan with English Bulletin. Two people have been sentenced to death in Rangpur Begum Rokeya University student in Abu Sayeed killing case. Abu Sayeed is one of the July mass uprising martyrs. The death row convicts are former ASI of police Amir Hussain and former constable Shudan Chandra Roy. A three-member International Crimes Tribunal 2, headed by Justice Nojul Islam Chaudhry, pronounced the verdict on Thursday. Among the 30 accused persons, 3 have been handed down lifelong imprisonment and 25 others different jail terms. Former VC of Begum Rokeya University, Mohammad Hasibur Rashid, is also among the 30 convicts. He is now at large. Abu Sayeed, a student of Begum Rokeya University, was shot down by police on July 16 during quota reform movement in front of Begum Rokeya University. The quota reform movement subsequently turned into mass uprising that saw the ouster of Sheikh Hasina's government. Supreme Court Secretariat Ordinance, Supreme Court Justices Appointment Ordinances have been repealed. Besides, an ordinance related to Human Rights Commission was also revoked. 3 bills cancelling the ordinances sailed through the Parliament despite objection from the opposition lawmakers. Law Minister Asaduzzaman placed the bills on behalf of the government. Thursday's Parliament session, where the bills were passed by presided over by Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed. At one stage, opposition lawmakers staged a walkout, claiming despite objections some anti-public bills have been passed in the Parliament. All these 3 ordinances were issued by the interim government. Some selected schools of the capital have 3-day in-person classes and 3-day offline classes. Education Minister ANM Ehsanul Haq Milon made the disclosure at a press conference at International Mother Language Institute on Thursday afternoon. He said, not by putting any pressure, rather the schools interested to come under this blended system will introduce it. He said the decision has been taken into consideration the existing fuel crisis and the reality of future technology-based education. The decision will be enforced from this week. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Zahiruddin Shapon said he will sit with the people concerned of mass media soon over reform of Digital Security Act. He also said the incumbent government wants to ensure security of all. However, it is important to understand the difference between freedom and anarchy. He made the remarks at a MOU signing ceremony at the Office of Economic Reporters Forum in the capital on Thursday. Addressing the same event, Honorary Fellow of Centre for Policy Dialogue Dr. Devapriya Bhattacharya said the past government had no economic ideology, that is why reforms process stumbled within few months. He expressed optimism the present government will be able to tackle the hurdles of bureaucratic tangle. Iran warned on Wednesday that the US must choose between a ceasefire and continued war via Israel, saying Washington cannot have both. The Iran-US ceasefire terms are clear and explicit. The US must choose ceasefire or continued war via Israel. It cannot have both, Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi wrote on US social media company X after Israeli strikes killed 254 people in Lebanon. The world sees the massacres in Lebanon. The ball is in the US court. Iran also announced closing down of the Strait of Hormuz once again in protest of Israeli strikes in Lebanon. US President Donald Trump, writing on social media, said that all US ships, aircraft and military personnel will remain in place around Iran until the real agreement on a ceasefire is fully complied with. Now, a short break. We'll be back soon with Fuel crisis persists in the capital. Bangladesh qualified to Asian Games hockey. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. Existing fuel crisis in the capital is yet to be over even after temporary truce in Iran war. The long queues of vehicles in front of the filling stations tell that picture. Acute shortage of petroleum was found in most of the filling stations of the capital on Thursday. The managers of some filling stations said the crisis is getting worse as cars get priority to take the fuel first. Many people are blaming hoarding of fuel for such crisis. Now, news around the world. A high-level Iranian delegation will arrive in Pakistan's capital Islamabad for talks with the US despite skepticism over repeated violations of the new ceasefire by Israel, Iran's ambassador in Islamabad said Thursday. Islamabad is set to host talks between delegations from the US and Iran after a two-week ceasefire was secured late Tuesday, ending a high-stakes standoff. Reza Amiri Moghadam, the Iranian ambassador, said on US social media platform X, despite skepticism of Iranian public opinion due to repeated ceasefire violations by Israeli regime to sabotage the diplomatic initiative, Iranian delegation will reach on Thursday night in Islamabad for serious talks based on 10 points proposed by Iran. The US will be represented by Vice President J.D. Vance and US President Donald Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law. North Korea on Thursday said its testing spree this week involved various new weapon systems. The weapons include ballistic missiles armed with cluster bomb warheads as it pushes to expand nuclear-capable forces aimed at rival South Korea. The report by North Korean state media came a day after South Korea's military said it detected North Korea firing multiple missiles from an eastern coastal area in its second round of launches in 2 days. North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency said the tests lasted 3 days starting Monday and also included demonstrations of anti-aircraft weapons, purported electromagnetic weapon system and carbon fiber bombs. Viewers, we'll take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching English Bulletin. And now, sports news. Bangladesh have confirmed berth for Asian Games, beating Hong Kong by 3-2 in tiebreaker. The Red and Greens confirmed their qualification of the Asian Games by securing 6th position through this win. Bangladesh took the lead through a field goal of Raqibul Hassan at the 11th minute. Amirul Islam doubled the margin at the 17th minute. Hong Kong scored 2 consecutive goals to make it 2-2. Ashraful Islam took Bangladesh ahead once again through a penalty corner. Hong Kong equalized the margin at the 46th minute. Finally, the battle of nerve ended 4-4 at Royal Thai Air Force Hockey Ground. Later, Bangladesh won the tiebreaker 3-2 due to the strong resistance of goalkeeper Biplop. Bangladesh will now play the Asian Games in Japan in September. Before ending the bulletin, the top stories once again. 2 policemen sentenced to death for Abu Sayeed murder. Supreme Court Secretariat and 2 other ordinance revoked. 3-day online classes in some schools of Dhaka. Choose between war and truce, Iran tells US. Fuel crisis persists in the capital. And Bangladesh qualify to Asian Games hockey. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us.